Mayurbhanj district is one of the 30 districts of Odisha state in eastern India. According to the area, it has earned the status of being the largest district of Odisha. The geographical location of this district, with an area of 10,428 square kilometers, is very pleasant. Surrounded by rivers, densely forested hills and mountains, the district has many waterfalls, Shimlipal National Park and many other attractions that enthrall the mind of the beholder. According to the 2011 census, the total population of the district is 25,19,738. The data shows that the total tribal population of Mayurbhanj district is 14,79,576, which is 58.70% of the total population of the district. These tribes are very vulnerable in socio-economic field. The tribal depended mainly on the forest for their livelihood. But due to climate change and continuous natural disasters, the forest is getting degraded. Due to forest degradation and government restrictions created problems for their livelihood. For the development of these tribal families living below the poverty line, many schemes are being implemented at the government and non-government levels. Sambandh, one of Odisha's leading voluntary organization, has been working for the betterment of the lives of 1,531 beneficiaries in 12 villages under Jashipur block of the district for the last several years. EdelGive Foundation, a national funding agency, has extended a hand of financial support for this project.
ଯେତେବେଳେ এই ଜାଗାରେ କେହି ପହଞ୍ଚି ପାରୁ ନଥିଲେ ଆଉ ସବୁ ଲୋକ ମାନେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଉପରେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରୁଥିଲେ କେବଳ ରେନଫେଡ୍ ଫାର୍ମିଂ ଉପରେ ସେମାନେ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡ କରୁଥିଲେ ଅଦରୱାଇଜ ସେମାନେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲରେ କାଠ କାଟିକି ଚଳୁଥିଲେ ଲୋକଙ୍କର କାପାସିଟି ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ କଲୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆୱାର କରେଲୁ ଆଉ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ଚାଷ ଜମିକୁ ଆଣି ପାରିବୁ ତା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରୟାସ ଜାରି କଲୁ.
At the beginning of the project, a survey was conducted at the grassroots level with the local people on various issues. Discussions were held with the stakeholders to resolve the outstanding issues. After that, various groups were formed and efforts were made to improve their economic and social conditions. The objective was to increase income with nutritional food security for them.
आमे माने जेतेबेले एठी काम करबा स्टार्ट कलु से समय रे सबु महिला मान को आमे प्रथम एकाठी कलु एकाठी कला परे तांकर एसएजी गठन करलु एसएजी गठन कला परे तांको जैविक खत रे सार तयारी सिखेइलु.
The next step for the organization was capacity building of the beneficiaries. That is why Chasi Patsala, farmers' workshops, have been opened and various trainings are being given to the beneficiaries.
चाषी पाठशाला रे एमती डेट गुटे दिया मंगलवार गुटे बैठक बसे एठी चाष विषय विभिन्न प्रकार आलोचना करा हुए एथिरे आमे माने बहुत प्रकार भी सीखी जाइछु भी.
All the stakeholders encouraged by the Sambandh to grow up and depend on agricultural production instead of depending on the forest. As a result, they took a firm decision to lead their livelihood depending on the agricultural component.
ग्राम चारिपटे ग्राम रे जंगल जाई काठवाणी जसीपुर बाजार रे बिक्री करूथलु ए बिल बाड़ी सब पड़िया रहीथिला संबंध अछि टिके हमकु बुझेले एबे हमें फसल फाउछु.
Water management plans were implemented in different areas to improve in agriculture sector. Stone ponds were constructed to control the flow of rainwater. By constructing drainage point recharge pit, DPRP, to conserve the rainwater, the water can be conserved and the groundwater is also enriched. Similarly, by constructing rainwater harvesting pits, the groundwater level increased. Check dams were also constructed in different places. As a result, the irrigation problem was solved.
पानी भी सेते बड़े अभाव थिला पानी जो येरो सुविधा नथिला सेते बड़े चाष बास से जगह हो नथिला एबे हमर गाँ रे तीनटा लाइफ पॉइंट संबंध जोगाजोग द्वारा करा जायछि सेतिरा हमर चाष काम रे वर्तमान बहुत सुरकुरे होछि.
Another notable step was the construction of the DBI. There were many natural water sources in these areas. The water of these water sources could not be used for any purpose. By constructing diversion-based irrigation projects, the water was diverted and invested in agriculture purpose.
आम ए जो झरणाटा पानी बिलबादी रे पड़ी बेकार ही पड़ूला संबंध तरफ एबे पाइप पुता हैला बोली आम बिलबादी की पहुंच पानी एबे आमको कि सब किसी रे साहाय्य करूचे आ चाष बास रे भी धुआ धुई रे भी घर काम रे भी।
To improve irrigation, wells were dug at different places from which the crops could be irrigated with the help of water pumps. In order to cultivate the unused lands, ponds were dug and water pumps were used for irrigation. Stakeholders were advised to practice mulching method to prevent wastage of water. Again, farmers could irrigate their crops with less water by planting pot irrigation.
जमी थिला पड़िया साई करी समुद को कहली मु आ गोटे पोखरी बनई दियो मु एटी चाष करबी चाष करी लगे सारा पर मु लक्षे टंकार इनकम करछि आ मु मंजी पाइछि आ जिया खत करी समुद वाला कहि बुझे करी जिया खत पाइली पाई सारी करी एई रकम करछि आ।
Beneficiaries were encouraged to make vermin compost. Farmers collected vermin fertilizer from vermin ponds and applied it to the farmland to increase soil fertility. Similarly, the beneficiaries were advised to cultivate ajola in large quantities. After drying the ajola, the farmers applied it to their crops. Indigenous seeds adopted to our climate have been recovered and stored through the seed bank.
এটা আমার সম্বন্ধর আসিলে সম্বন্ধর আমকু গাঁ বালা সমস্তে একাটি মিটিং কলে তারপরে বুঝাইলে দেশি বিহন চাষ কলে কোণ হব আউ হাইব্রিড বিহন চাষ কলে কোণ হব বুঝাইলে তারপরে সেমানে আমকু সাহায্য কলে তারপরে সেমানে সবু দেশি বিহন আমকু যোগাই দেলে তারপরে সেইটু আমি আরম্ভ কলু।
The farmers cultivated the seeds and produced more, and again collected the seeds from the fields and planted them in the seed bank.
एटा शस्य बैंक बिहन बैंक डाइटी आज्ञा मेरा एटा आग कर तो नहीं होता गाँ गंडा रखुले लोक जहाँ समुद आम 2 वर्ष ये काम करुच्ची आमको किसी आइडिया देला गाँ लोक बुझे सुझे कर गोटे ग्राम बैंकटा होठू आमर देशी बिहन रखा लोक मैंने नौकरी अमल है किले 2 किलो अधिका दौरान आ।
Again, the opportunity for seed exchange was created by farmers giving their own produced seeds to others. As a result, indigenous seeds were widely used. Stakeholders were advised to plant the collected indigenous seeds in rows. Farmers drew lines on their fields and planted seeds and seedlings. Planting in rows allows the trees to get enough sunlight and air circulation in the facility. As a result, crop production increased significantly. The beneficiaries were advised to use organic fertilizers instead of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. They were trained to make organic fertilizers and pesticides using local resources that are easily and freely available. Farmers made organic fertilizers and applied them to crops. As a result, the environment could be balanced as well as production increased.
आगे ये जगार खाली मक्का नहीं बुणा होता मक्का बुणा होता से पचे पचे टी आम भी अल्प अल्प आगे चाष करूँ संबंध पाठी भी साहय कला आमको जैविक खत गुड़ा से गुड़ा भी आम संबंध पाठी आमको शिखेले शिखई कर सेमती चाषटा आम बेसी गला।
On behalf of Sambandh, trap crop instruments have been provided to protect the crops from insect damage. With the help of that trap crop, the farmers can protect the crops from the clutches of insects. Exposure visits were organized to develop the knowledge of the stakeholders. As a result, farmers can learn a lot of agricultural knowledge from experienced farmers.
आगु सर आमर जितकी भी चाष होता सर एवं किसी परिवर्तन होगा सर बाहर लोक भी आसती सर तो गाँ लोक भी किसी आसती देखापी और शिखापी भी आसती सर बहुत किसी शिखती सर मीटिंग भी हुए सर तापर किसी देखे भी हुए सर आम धान चाष।
A concept of kitchen garden was designed and implemented to provide nutritious food to the beneficiaries. In these, wastewater is used for irrigation. As a result, the beneficiaries were able to get nutritious food.
आगुरु तो आमे किछि चाष बास करू नथिलु समुद्र जेते बेले कहिले सेते बेले आमे चाष करिछु आ किचन गार्डन करिछु अल्प अल्प चाष करिछु बिलाती बाइगण मुड़ा ଶାଗ ସବୁ ପନିପରିବା ଚାଷ କରୁଛୁ ଆଉ ବିନା ସାରରେ ଚାଷ କରୁଛୁ।
Zero energy cooling chambers have been provided to the farmers to keep the agricultural products fresh. Vegetables can be kept fresh for 7 days in this chamber without any power.
ଯେତିକି ବି ପନିପରିବା ବାହାରୁଛି ସାର୍ ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଏଇଟା ସବୁବେଳେ ଜୈବିକରେ ବ୍ୟବହାର ହେଉଛି ଆଉ ଏଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଡେଲି ମାର୍କେଟରେ ନେଇକରି ଯେତିକିଟା ବିକୁଛୁ ଆଗର ଅପେକ୍ଷା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମକୁ ପ୍ରାୟ ବାର୍ଷିକ 80-90 ହଜାର ଟଙ୍କା ଆସିଯାଉଛି ବାଦ ବାକି ଯେଉଁ ଯେତିକିଟା ବଳକା ରହିଯାଉଛୁ ଆମକୁ ଶୀତଳ ଭଣ୍ଡାରରେ ରଖି ଏ ଶୀତଳ ଭଣ୍ଡାର ମଧ୍ୟ ପନିପରିବା ଆମର 15-20 ଦିନ ରହିଯାଉଛି। ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଶୀତଳ ଭଣ୍ଡାରଟା ବିନା ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ଚାଲୁଛି।
Stakeholders were encouraged to develop and market traditional food products in a sustainable manner. This work was achieved through collective efforts.
आम एटा संबंध ये पाइलु ए मुढ़ी भजा ट्रेनिंग आम ट्रेनिंग शिखिलु मुढ़ी भजा है बिक्री कलु चाउल किणलु 25 टंका कि 30 टंका केजी रे पैकेट कलु एक पहला को आम बिक्री करुछु आम 30 जन माँ मिसिकरी मुढ़ी भजा ग्रुप बनाणिया है।
Organic market has been created with the aim of marketing the products. Beneficiaries are selling their products through this organic market.
रासायनिक सार व्यवहार करा जाउनी ऑर्गेनिक चाष करा होछि देह पे भलो तेणु के ये आम किणाकिणी कर
गाँ गाँव में सबू जिते लोक रासायनिक सार व्यवहार करे विभिन्न प्रकार रोग है आम से चिंता कलु गाँव में मीटिंग करी एठी केमती गोटे ऑर्गेनिक बजार करूँ जहाँकि जैविक पद्धति लोक मैंने चाष करेंगे पनीपरिया खाइबे।
Depending on the changing climate, agricultural production villages have been given the title of Climate Smart Village.
आमर EdelGive सहयोग रे आमे जो क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट प्रोजेक्ट आमे एठी करूचंती मुख्य तार उद्देश्य होची जलवायु सहित खाप खोए एठिकार लोक माने बा चासी माने केमती चाष कार्य करि परिबे।
Earlier there were many problems of drinking water in these areas. The women were collecting drinking water from a long distance after a lot of hardships. Drinking water was provided to the beneficiaries on behalf of Sambandh. As a result, the women were relieved of their hardships. They were able to get clean drinking water.
आगरू पानी नदीर आनिकी आसुथुलु छुआ का खाइकी पानी मुंडरे बुहीकी आनुथुलु तापर इला संबंध दिएची गुटे टांकी।
All the stakeholders were advised by the Sambandh for the production of vegetables on a commercial basis. Therefore, better quality indigenous seeds were provided.
जमी पड़िया रोला संबंध आसिकी आमको कहले एटी माने किछि करले किछि आसबो तापरे से बर्तार मुंजी देले तापरे हम करलु तापरे गाँ लोक भी अधा खाउछन आमे भी खाउछु किछि बिक्री करूछु।
By growing vegetables on a large scale, farmers could not only increase production but also increase their additional income.
हाँ जगहटा काली पड़ी तिला तापरे संबंध सार माने आसिकी आमको पोखरी खोड़ी देले तापरे मज टमाटो मजी गुड़ा देले एटी आमे चाष करिकी टंका रोजगार कलु तापरे आमे आमर 70,000 पाइथिलु तापरे गाड़ी गुटे नेछु आउ मशीन गोटे पानी मशीन सेतिरे आमर बहुत सुविधा होछि।
Another step of the project was to provide incentives to the beneficiaries for production of all-seed crops. Farmers could profit by cultivating many all-seeds crops.
आगरे ये जगह आमती पड़ी रही थिला एबे से संबंध कोइला सी नाही चारापारा देले से देई करी आमे ना चाष करचु बैंगण बिलाती सोरिसो एमती सब चाष करूछु।
Farmers were also advised to produce different varieties of pulses. Beneficiaries have benefited a lot by cultivating pulses of different variety.
ए फसल अमल हैला परे तापरे आमे बिकिबु किसी पैसा आसीबो ए फसल अमल सरला परे आमे डाली जातीय फसल चाष करिबु ए मसूरी चना खसारी आ तैल जातीय जे ठिसी एगुड़ा चाष करिबु आ भलरे चलिबु बोले आशा करिसु।
Due to the availability of all kinds of facilities for improved cultivation, the beneficiaries have been able to increase production by using indigenous rice seeds. As a result, local tribes have strengthened their food security. Sukuravo, a farmer included in this scheme. There were days even though he had 1 acre of farm land, he could not provide enough food for his family. After joining as a beneficiary with Sambandh, he has changed his financial status by digging a pond in his farm and growing fish and varieties of vegetables.
ମୁଁ ଏଇ ବଗିଚାରେ ପନିପରିବା ଚାଷ କରିଛି କୋବି ବେଲାତି ବାଇଗଣ ଏବଂ ସୋରିଷ ଏବଂ ବନ୍ଧରୁ ମୁଁ ବର୍ଷକୁ ପାଖାପାଖି 4-5 କ୍ୱିଣ୍ଟାଲ ରୋହି ଭାକୁର ଆମଦାନୀ କରୁଛି ସେଥିରୁ ମାଛରୁ ମୁଁ ଲକ୍ଷେରୁ 1,20,000 ଭିତରେ ଇନକମ୍ କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ପନିପରିବାରୁ 2.5ରୁ 3 ଲକ୍ଷ ଭିତରେ ପାଉଛି ମୋର ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚଟା ହେଉଛି ପାଖାପାଖି ମାଛ ଏବଂ ଚାଷରୁ ଲକ୍ଷ ଭିତରେ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ହେଉଛି 4 ଲକ୍ଷ ପାଖାପାଖି ମୁଁ ବେନିଫିଟ୍ ପାଉଛି।
An agro-tech park has been set up by Sambandh to develop the knowledge of farmers. Often many visitors from local and other regions come here to learn a lot. Visitors are learning about different types of biological liquid or pesticide in it. Learning about the benefits of a circular garden. Getting pleasure by observing multi-layer garden made of bamboo, know about the system of watershed management. They are also learning how to cultivate with little water by making a pot garden. There is a Chasi Patsala inside the biotech park. Visitors get to learn a lot from the experts in these workshops and see a lot about farming through audio-visuals system. A Jan Seva Kundra has been set up here for the convenience of the local people. Beneficiaries along with other public are benefited by this public service center. In fact, this initiative of Sambandh is an example and a source of inspiration for others, because its beneficiaries have proven it.